everyone, I am Sneha, co-founder and CEO DevCompass. Super thrilled as always to have you guys here. We are making great progress. That makes me super happy. I hope you're enjoying learning this course. Please show us some love if you are. If not, please let us know what we can do to make this better. And we have finally reached video 7 of stage 4, more than halfway through. So let's get started. For everyone else, if you don't know what we're talking about, please head over to devcompass.ai and look for Claude certification course and you will get all the information. So, okay, interesting name. Tool choice and scoped access sounds familiar. If not, you need to watch the previous videos, at least to do a revision. Okay, so in stage 2, we covered tool descriptions, structured error responses, programmatic enforcement, and hooks. There's one piece of domain 2 of the exam where we deferred to here because it fits naturally with Claude Code's allowed tools concept, which you saw in video 3, which is tool choice and scoped access. Tool choice is an API parameter that controls whether Claude can call tools, must call a specific tool, or is forced to respond in text only. Scoped access, like we have discussed before, is the principle of giving agents only the tools that they actually need, because it also leads to organizational hygiene for the job and not the full toolkit. Together, this will give you precise control over what Claude can do and when. So let's see what do we have to cover. First, tool choice has 4 options: auto, any, tool, none. Okay, auto is the default. Claude decides whether to call a tool or response in text based on what the user message actually requires. Most of the time, this is what you want, and that is why we have added the tag most common. Then, any. Claude must use at least one tool, but it can choose which one. Use this when the task always requires tool use and text only responses are wrong. A lookup agent where I don't know is plain text output is not acceptable. It must call the lookup tool. So that is why we have said lookup agents required retrieval. Third is tool with a specific tool name. Claude must call this specific tool. Use this when you need guaranteed structured output. You are forcing a specific extraction tool and you need the output in that tool's schema. We will use this specifically in video 10 when we cover extraction. That is why we have said forced extraction, structured output. And the final one is none. Claude cannot call any tools, text only response accepted. Use this for stages of a pipeline where tool use would be wrong. For example, a summarization step, a classification step that should produce text output. And that is why it says pipeline text steps. Okay, the exam might test all 4, so know the name and the use case for each one of them. That was about tools. Now, what do we do about scoped access? So it is the principle that agents should have only the tools they actually need for the task, not a full toolkit. And we discussed this through a concept. Which concept? Blast radius in stage 2. If you don't remember it, please go do a recall. Quick recall. We always forget things when we are learning so much. So the idea that the right tool goes to the right agent, here is how we will look at it in practice. And that is why the blast radius argument from stage 2 applies directly. So on the left side is an over permissioned agent, full tool access in a read only reporting pipeline. The tool list kind of shows 10 tools. And I want you to look at the ones with warning badges. Please, important. There is access to get customer, lookup order, process refund, update customer, etc. etc. But the ones with warning signs is process refund, update customer, delete record, and send email. These are write and modify operations. This agent is being used for reporting. It reads data. It should never process refunds. But the toolkit includes it. That is why it says blast radius can modify, delete, send in a read-only context. That term blast radius again comes from stage 2. We used it when discussing multi-agent tool assignment. So that applies here too. On the right side is a scoped toolkit. 3 tools: get customer, lookup order, get ticket history, all read only, because this is all the reporting pipeline actually needs. The agent cannot process a refund even if Claude somehow decides it should. We don't know how, but it somehow decides that it should. So the blast radius here is read only. So the implementation is that the tool arrays in your API call, you don't pass your full tools list. Please don't pass your full tools list. You pass the subset relevant to its agent tasks combined with skilled allowed tools in Claude Code. This is scoped access in both environments, and I hope that is clear for you. Next up, what do we do with this particular section? Okay, the principle of scoped access is clear. Now let me show you what it looks like applied to the actual set from our 3 agent system. Okay, 12 tools, 3 agents, and this is like a worked example the walkthrough will ask to build yourself, so I'm giving you some information around it. Left is the coordinator. Its job is to receive the customer query, decide what is needed, spawn sub-agents, and synthesize results. We have heard these terms before. I hope you remember. It needs tools that let it understand the customer and manage the conversation. Get customer, classify tickets, synthesize results, escalate to human. 4 tools is what it has, all read or orchestration. Okay, no write operations, no payment tools. The middle one is an account sub agent. Its job is to look up account and order data. It needs lookup order, get ticket history, get account status, 3 read only tools. It does not need to process refund. It does not need update customer. If those were in its toolkit and it decided to use them independently, that's an unintended action with no coordinator oversight. So remove them immediately. The order sub-agent, its job is to handle order actions, refunds, updates, status. So it needs lookup order, process refund, update order status, send confirmation email, log action, 5 tools. These are the write operations. They belong here, not in the coordinator, not in the account sub-agent. The coordinator does not process refunds. It delegates. The sub-agent executes, so it is supposed to have access to those tools. Now, there's a blast radius table in the end. Coordinator, read plus orchestration only. Account sub-agent, read only. Order sub-agent, write plus read. Scoped to order actions. So total blast radius for any single sub-agent is always less than the full toolkit. So the walkthrough after this will give you 12 tools and asks you to do this assignment yourself. So now you've kind of seen a worked solution. So that was just some help from my end. That was all about scoped access in this video and tool choices. So we have already looked at tool choices, 4 of them: auto, any, tool, none, and know each of their use cases. Force a specific tool when you need, and also please guaranteed structured output, which we'll discuss more. And then is the scoped access. Pass only the tool that the task needs. It should never have all the toolkit access if it does not need it. So it needs to be limited. Right now, the domain 3 and the remaining domain 2 of the exam content are now complete. There is a exam guide that is available on our website as well, which was published by Anthropic, so you can go check it. The next 6 videos are domain 4, which is around prompt engineering and batch processing. So take a break, go have some coffee, go have some fresh air, and come back with a fresh mind, and we will look into all of those. And the first video would be why vague instructions produce inconsistent results and what specific categorical prompt looks like instead. So I will see you in the next one.